This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Shalom, shalom. Before I start this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, Yahweh being the true name of who the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai being the true name who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Bahashem means in the name, and the Rakah Kodash is the Spirit Holy, and that's in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And I want to give double honors to the to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, teaching His word in all sincerity and in truth. It's the brother Dama Al-Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and as I started in Habakkuk, the second chapter, it's showing you that the vision or the prophecies are all for an appointed time. And one of the main prophecies that we are constantly on the lookout for, we're constantly watching and warning and giving you lessons and videos, about is the MOTB, which is the mark of the you-know-what, which will be used to bring in this new digital cashless society. All right. And this is a hot topic on the mouth of these elites and in these different meetings, because we're in the times to where, this vision is about to come to pass. All right. And a lot of people are going to come to the realization that the MOTB is not sin. Now, of course, it'll be a sin if you take the MOTB, but the MOTB system in itself is not a sin. But once you bow down and you accept it and you allow them to put that inside of your body, that's going to be the sin that will get you utterly destroyed by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And as we've been saying here at Great Millstone, we're at that time where the Lord is making it manifest. The Lord is making it plain. And, we're at the point to where this devil is going to come down with this wicked system, But because I was reading these two articles, and I'm going to show you, this is exactly where things are headed. And now, they're in full go mode. And this is from Zero Hedge. It says, United Nations planning digital ID linked to bank accounts. You see? All of your digital identification will be linked to your bank account. So in the near future, if you don't have a digital ID, or as we know eventually will be your charagma, your mark that they're going to put in your right hand, your forehead, which will have all the biometrics and the information and your digital identification information written upon it, you won't be able to buy or sell in this man's new system that he is trying to establish. And this is ultimately where, these elites want to go. Everything else is just a prerequisite and a gradual step into the ultimate, the final piece, which is the MOTB. So I'm going to read a little bit this article, and I got another article just to show you that, hey, we're in these times. It says the United Nations is planning to introduce a global digital ID system that is linked to individuals' bank accounts. You see, it says a global digital IC system. All right. And this is how we know that this MOTB is going to be based on the individual basis. Every man, woman, and person on this planet will be, linked to this digital ID system. All right. So it's going to be linked to what? Your bank accounts, because you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you, ultimately bow down into this system. You see, in which all of your digital information, it will all be linked upon your charagma in the near future. It says the plan, which is similar to the systems developed by the World Economic Forum, is outlined in 3 new policy briefs from the United, titled A Global Digital Compact, Reforms to the International Financial Architecture and the Future of Outer Space Governance, which, one way that, it's all about them having financial control over every single person on this earth, and which is why they're bringing in these central bank digital currencies, which is a form of currency that's going to be ran and controlled by the government. All right. And this is why they're going to phase out this financial system as we know it. The cash is not going to forever be king. They're going to get rid of this cash because cash allows you to have financial freedom and to move outside of the control and that's it. You're able to buy and sell without the government being privy to what you're buying or selling. They don't have the ability to restrict you from spending cash and buying things that's not being brought, through like a debit card or through a digital form. You see, but now they're going to put everything on a digital form. to where every transaction or everything that you try to buy, or try to purchase, they're going to be able to see it, through their AI, watching and monitoring every single thing that you do every single second. And when you try to purchase something, that's not permitted, it's going to be a red flag into the system. And then they'll be able to permit or to, not permit you from buying or selling particular things, based upon your social credit score, based upon how good of a slave and a obedient citizen you will be. And this is where all these things is headed, man. A total digital system of control. It says the goal of the briefs is to advance UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' vision for the future. Yeah, their vision for the future is a digital slave system for all humanity. It says, officially titled Our Common Agenda, Guterres' vision should be given the green light in September 2024 during an event dubbed the Summit for the Future. The future is enslavement. It says digital IDs linked with bank or mobile money accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries, which that's all just smooth talking, utterly. And it pretty much is them saying that through this system, we're going to have basically total control over your ability to buy or sell. And then we know that those CBDCs are going to be programmable. They're going to be time sensitive. They're going to be, controlled by the system to where they'll be able to tell you what you can buy or what you cannot buy. And it's going to be totally out of your control. You see? It says digital technologies may help to reduce leakage, errors, and costs in the design of social protection programs. Unlike their unofficial counterparts over at the WEF, the UN also speaks about basically regulating the global digital future. You see, and regulating means having control over it, man. You see, it says the unelected organization uses phrases such as international cooperation and many stakeholders who will advance principles, objectives, and actions to describe this globalist agenda. In other words, the international cooperation, meaning total control from the elites and the powers that be, man. They're going to be in control of this system. They're going to set the rules and the parameters and, how it's going to officially operate and who can have access to it and who cannot have access to it. You see, and this is what John the Revelator saw when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse about, people being not being able to buy or sell, and those that were being killed that wouldn't worship the beast or take his mark, because you're going to be totally, separated from being able to function within this new digital system, which in it, that's going to be the only way, through that system that you can buy food, get water, buy diapers, have a job, have an apartment, have electricity, is you're going to have to bow down and worship this man's image and take this mark. And if you don't have it and you don't bow down to it, then they're going to be able to physically kill you, or you'll just be totally separated from being able to operate within this new digital beast system. Let me get to the main point. It says the digital future as envisioned by these groups is going to be quite the opposite of open, free, or human-centric. However, you see, and that's how they talk. It's a back speech. You see? It says, as far as the UN's vision for a future global financial system, it is supposed to be harmonized with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Sustainable development meaning basically, you're only going to be able to consume and use so much of the world's resources so that the earth can be saved, so that climate change can be calmed down, and that, these elites going to save the earth from human consumption. All right. Which you will all live in a system to where everything will be shared. Everything will be rationed unto you. All right. You're not going to be able to just consume and use electricity and water and buy as much food and meat and guns and ammo and, whatever your heart's desire. As long as you have the money and the financial ability to purchase it, they're going to restrict all of that, man. All right. You're only going to have just enough to survive, man. I'm going to get to this main point, and I got another article. It says it will be governed by something called the apex body. This is yet to be set up, which is ultimately the elites, man. It says the key actors here would be the UN chief, as well as the Group of 20, the Economic and Social Council, and the heads of international financial institutions. And these will all be unelected, unofficial people chosen by the elites to run all these different these different sectors. You see? All right, and you people are not going to vote these people in. They're not going to be anybody that you're going to have any control or any say so over. You can't vote in or you can't vote out. All right, they're going to be handpicked by these elites to do the bidding of these devils. It says, within this, the UNC's visions of a global digital compact. And here's the main point. It says, essentially, the objective is to have people, devices, you know what devices those are, the MOTB, biometric things. It says, and entities all tied up in a connected network that could apparently be centrally administered or controlled, seemingly by unelected bureaucrats, you see? It says, when those planning this future scheme worry about any negative impact, they never see it as potentially affecting everyone, but only civil society or selected groups excluded from social benefits. You see? And then it goes into how, they're building all these biometric companies. But ultimately, the main thing is what? To have people, devices, and entities all tied up into a connected network that could apparently be centrally controlled, seemingly by unelected bureaucrats. Right. It's a digital slave system, to where everything is going to be connected to this beast system. Everything is going to be this technology. Everything is going to be ubiquitously connected. All right. Like I said, every single thing that you do, whatever you try to buy or purchase, everything's going to be linked and on this ledger and on this, system being tracked and traced, so that every single move, every single thing that's on this earth, they're going to be able to watch and track and monitor in real time, man. You won't be able to, as so much to pick up a bag of grapes or pick up something, get a T-shirt without it being literally controlled and watched and being able to be tracked and traced. All right. You're not going to have any side hustles. You're not going to be able to operate or move outside of this system of control. And this is where, this is what that fourth industrial revolution is, man. See? Let me see this. This says, this is from InfoWars. It says, the reset. When will globalists attempt to introduce their digital currency system? Which they're already trying to do it now. But let me get to this main point. It says, by extension, production is overtly. Let me see something. It says, I want you to imagine for a moment a future world in which everything we now know about functioning and surviving within the economy is completely upended. This world has gone fully digital, meaning people live within a cashless society where physical monetary interactions are abandoned or prohibited, replaced by CBDCs. All transactions are tracked and traced. Nothing is private any longer unless you are operating as a criminal within a black market. And that's the system that they're creating. Everything is going to be tracked and traced. And anything that you do that's outside of their control is going to be deemed a criminal act. You're going to have to barter and operate, on the black market without their control. You see, this is where everything is headed. This is why this financial system as we know it is going to be totally destroyed, because they're bringing in this fourth industrial revolution, man. All right. And it's going to be crowned with the MOTB, with the mark of the you know what. Let me see. It says, let me see. It says, small businesses are a thing of the past, and only a select group of major corporations working directly with government are allowed to operate. It's not just that cash is outlawed and that everyone must rely on a digital ledger. The very data pathways and networks that we use to transfer funds are also controlled. Much like the SWIFT data network, the globalists have the ability to lock down internet payments, individual accounts, and business accounts, and deny people the ability to move funds from one place or another. You see, and that's which is why you're not going to be able to buy or sell within this new digital beast system, because all control is going to be within their hands. And this is Revelations 13 and 16. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that that mark is the charagma, the MOTB, the implantable micro C hip. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's what you're going to receive in this new fourth industrial revolution. And this is why they're going to be able to lock down, internet payments, individual accounts, and business accounts, and deny people the ability to move funds from one place or to another, or to buy and sell. You see? And this is where, this is their plan. This is what they're bringing. And they're going to bring this through a major financial, global crisis, and they're going to use climate change as well as a way to bring in this new lockdown and digital enslavement system. It says, in the meantime, AI-based monitoring systems sift through millions of transactions every minute, searching for anomalies. The algorithm is designed to identify anyone who has found a way around the data tracking people who want to remain anonymous. The internet still exists, but it's a shell of its former glory. The population uses it regularly to complete necessary tasks and to research information, but data providers are severely restricted. Cryptocurrencies are not an option as an alternative to the CBDCs because trading them online immediately sets off red flags for the AI in the sky. Only government-approved websites are allowed to exist with extensive rules limiting what they can do and what they can say. Yeah, a total slave system. And all the information that you'll search online will be provided and given to you by the government, man. It's not going to be any alternative news media sites. It's not going to be no Rumble, none of these websites outside of YouTube or outside of the main government control where you can go to and get the true information about what's really going on. You see? And if you do try to find something like that, or you do speak out of turn, they'll be able with a push of a button to shut you out of the system, to shut off your CBDCs, shut off your ability to buy and sell. And they can track you and find you if you try to go on a run and hide from them, to come and lock you up and put you in a damn re-education center. See? It says AI chatbots provide the public with most of their information, and the globalists control the parameters of the chatbots. People only ever hear the news that the elites want them to hear. All contrary data is eliminated and not so much banned. Rather, it is simply omitted from the record until the people who remember it are long gone, you see? It's going to be like one of these dystopian movies where all your information will be provided unto you. They're going to tell you what's true and what's not, and they're going to try to play God with this with this technology to rule over everybody and their thoughts. You see, let me jump down to this other point. Here we go. It says the reset, or the fourth industrial revolution, as they sometimes call it, would be the start of a new terrifying age of feudalism. It's a return to the oligarch and peasant model. Yeah, because you're either going to be rich or poor. You're only going to be a part of the super rich class, or you're going to be poor. And like I said, they're only going to give you just enough energy, just enough food, just enough water, 2 or 3 items of clothing, a couple pair of underwear, and a meaningless job, just enough to get you by and to survive, man. While these elites are flying high on their jets, eating steak and caviar and drinking wine and doing, and living it up on this world, while you're, living in this world to where you're thinking that you're saving the planet and doing what's best to help humanity further along, man. But you're all just going to be a bunch of damn slaves, man. It says the average person would only be allowed to work as a means to survive, never to accumulate wealth for the future, and each peasant's survival would be utterly dependent on their access to the system, which would be taken away with the push of a button, right? You're going to be governed off a social credit score. See? It says the primary stepping stone to this dystopian nightmare would be a global digital currency system, you see, which is going to lead to the micro CHIP, the mark of the beast, which is why you won't be able to buy or sell unless you bow down and you worship this man's image and take this mark. But even though you do take it, it's still a trap and a snare. You're still going to be held in derision, and you're going to be you're going to wish you had never taken that shit, man. Which is why we're telling our people to repent and return and have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, without a cashless society, the globalists would have no power to enforce the other elements of their reset, but when and how they will implement this monstrosity, and why would anyone embrace it? Because they're going to ultimately do it by causing order out of the chaos. They're going to, do away with this dollar. They're going to implode the financial system to where everybody's going to go, everybody's going to lose all their money they have in the bank. Cash is going to be useless. People are going to riot. People are going to go crazy. They're going to loot and steal and rob one another. It's going to be complete bedlam and mayhem out here in the world. And then they're going to come with the solution, which is going to be this great reset, this digital system, and the CHIPR. It says globalists tend to operate in stages of incrementalism, but sometimes they exploit dramatic crisis events in order to frighten the population into compliance with policies that would have taken decades to institute otherwise. We saw this clearly with the pandemic, Most of the reset concepts were revealed to the public during this time, perhaps because the globalists thought they had it in the bag and there was nothing anyone could do to stop them. This even included consistent talk of cashless systems to prevent the spread of the on physical dollars. You see? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I pretty much made the point, man. But this is where it's going, and it's all going to start with this crashing this financial system and bringing chaos, and then they're going to come with the answers and the solution. It says, at bottom, globalists know that countries like America will not accept a fully cashless system without a complete collapse of their existing currency and economy, which that's the plan, is just not going to happen otherwise. And I have doubts that many Americans will accept such a system even after a collapse. And that's why they have a huge thing called population control, which is why they're going to have martial law and the gulags and the concentration camps, because they know they're going to have to get rid of a huge number of the population who's just not going to comply, who's just not going to want to get down with this slave system. And therefore, they're going to have to, do away with the resistors, because they don't plan on everybody, especially the men of the Lord, being in this new, the Great Reset. It says the majority of Americans, 59%, say they like to have cash with them for various purchases. Though Western consumers make payments more often with bank cards, they still enjoy having physical money when they want it. The implications of intricate digital surveillance of every single purchase and transfer of funds is not lost on a large portion of the population. People know that if they give the government a telescope into their wallets, eventually that information will be used against them. Take away the options of anonymity, and millions of people will resist even if they have nothing particular to hide. Conversion to a cashless system would require calamity and force. Yes, and that's what they're going to do. It says a full spectrum crisis throughout the U.S. and much of the Western world in the next few years. I think it's going to be sooner than that, along with another few years or more of reconstruction to bring in CBDC mechanisms. Small businesses will have to be removed from the picture, leaving only major corporations, which could then refuse to accept cash as a means of payment consumers. And that's what they're doing right now. And these, BlackRock and these elites, they're buying up a lot of these businesses and corporations and then just, getting rid of them, because they know eventually it's only going to be so many stores and so many grocery stores and so many businesses open. That's going to be New World Order ran. And they're only going to function with this new digital beast system and turnstiles and swiping your C-hip to get into the store and to buy anything, even if, you have the access to buy these things. All right. It says this would be one method of expediting the cashless system, along with the outright government confiscation of physical paper. It says there's another ratherly blunt way to push Americans into the CBDCs that the globalists seem to be expediting the death of the dollar world reserve currency status. See, and that's ultimately what they're going to do. And these devils have a timeline of 2030, but I think they're trying to make it happen even faster than that. But as you can see, man, hey, the vision is for an appointed time. We're at that time where this thing is about to come major, and these devils are showing you their hand and they're letting you know exactly what they're planning on doing. But we know that it's going to be implemented not through the compliance of the citizens, but through major crises and chaos and the imploding of this dollar, and letting all hell break loose until they can come with the reset and this new, system that's going to fix and change everything. But it's really a trap and a snare. So, hey, under no circumstances should you take this CBDC, man. And don't listen to these other Israelite groups telling you that the MOTB is sin. It's all going to be linked to these CBDCs and this new digital system that these devils are, they're planned for the future. Digital IDs linked to bank accounts and CBDCs and cashless societies. This is where they're going to bring in the CBDC, man, which is going to ultimately be linked to the MOTB. Remember what Aaron Russo said, Nick Rockefeller told him, the end goal is to get everybody micro C-hipped, man. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, I wasn't all over the place and you were edified. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shaf, putting the spirit on me and do this lesson. Until the next one, Shalom.